What if learning a difficult language in 30 days was not completely impossible? Not mastering it, not becoming native, not suddenly debating philosophy in Mandarin, Arabic, or Japanese, but building a real foundation in 30 days. Understanding basic speech, remembering hundreds of useful words, hearing sounds you could not hear before, and having your first simple conversations without freezing. For decades, adults heard the same warning. If you did not learn a language as a child, your brain missed the window. Modern neuroscience tells a more interesting story. Your adult brain is not fixed, it is plastic. Every time you struggle to understand a sentence, every time you pull a word out of memory, every time you sleep after intense practice, your brain adjusts its networks. So the real question is not whether adults can learn complex languages. The real question is whether we can train the adult brain in a way that uses neuroplasticity instead of fighting it. That is where the 30-day sprint becomes powerful. The first principle is not memorization, it is comprehensible pressure. Your brain learns fastest when the input is difficult enough to stretch you, but not so difficult that it becomes noise. If you understand most of a sentence, your brain starts predicting the missing piece. That prediction error tells the nervous system, pay attention, this pattern matters. This is why random exposure is weak, but targeted immersion can be strong. A beginner listening to fast native speech for 5 hours may learn almost nothing, but a beginner hearing slightly simplified stories, repeated patterns, clear pronunciation, and meaningful context can start extracting structure. That is the first rule. Not more input, but input at the edge of your ability. The second principle is retrieval. Most people review words. Reviewing feels productive, but recognition often lies. You see the word, you think you know it, and then in real conversation it disappears. The brain strengthens memory when it is forced to pull information out. You hear a phrase, pause, and try to say it back. You see a picture and produce the word. You build a sentence before checking the answer. The effort is the signal. Each successful retrieval makes that pathway easier to use next time. Now combine that with spacing. Instead of cramming 100 words once, you meet them again exactly when your brain is about to forget them. 1 hour later, 1 day later, 3 days later, then a week later. A serious 30-day protocol is not 5 hours of random study. It is repeated cycles of input, recall, feedback, and rest. And the most ignored part happens when you are not even awake. Sleep. While you sleep, the brain does not simply shut down. It replays and reorganizes what you learned. Studies on language learning suggest that sleep can help stabilize new vocabulary and support some grammatical patterns. During deep, non-REM sleep, slow brain waves and sleep spindles appear to coordinate memory consolidation. In simple terms, the fragile language patterns you practice during the day get integrated into longer-term networks at night. So, if someone studies hard and sleeps badly, they are sabotaging the system that stores the learning. The newest frontier is feedback. Imagine practicing pronunciation and instantly seeing which sound your mouth got wrong. Imagine a tutor that knows which words you are about to forget, which grammar pattern keeps breaking, and which sentences are just difficult enough to push your brain without overwhelming it. That kind of personalization matters because language is not one skill. It is sound perception, vocabulary, grammar, memory, attention, motor control, and social confidence working together. There is also experimental research into non-invasive brain stimulation, like TDCS and TMS, trying to make certain brain networks more receptive to learning. But this is not a consumer shortcut, and it is not something to try casually. The safe conclusion is simple. Interesting in labs, not a magic helmet for fluency. So can neuroplasticity make you fluent in a complex language in 30 days? No. But can it help you make more progress in 30 focused days than many people make in 6 casual months? Yes, if the training is intense, targeted, repeated, emotionally engaging, and protected by sleep. The future of language learning will not be one magic app or one brain hack. It will be a system. Input that adapts to you, recall that forces your brain to work, feedback that corrects mistakes instantly, and recovery that lets the brain consolidate everything. The adult brain is not too old to learn. It just needs the right signal, repeated at the right time, with enough intensity to tell the nervous system, this matters. And that may be the real breakthrough. Not learning a language in 30 days, learning how to make 30 days actually count.